The Beast rampages, the Architect leaves his buddy hanging, 2 triple threat matches, and which large human is the last man standing? Coming up now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's like, look around you. Is he here?
Yeah.
What's he gonna pop out of?
Watch your backs. What's happening, everybody? This is the Raw After Show at AFTERBUZZ TV. We got a full squad in the house. My name's Jonny Loquasto. Find me on the social medias at jquasto. The lady next to me needs to be introduced immediately because she got that good hair right now. You can see her every week on Marvel Movie News as well as Screen Junkies News. She's at Markeia McCarty, and she is Markeia McCarty. Girl, your hair, though.
Thank you. No, I had to, well, Hobo kept on showing me up every week, so I had to step out.
Hobo's hair doesn't take 2 hours to do, last I checked.
No, it's just naturally this horrific. Yours, though, looks amazing.
Thank you.
I wish I could pull off a solid Shirley Temple like that,
Yeah.
but I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll give you my stylist.
Please, can we do that?
Sure.
We'll
Can we
get some
do it?
matching dues.
Give me a gift card.
Can we do a GoFundMe for Hobo's hair and see what happens?
Oh, wow.
We should vote which style it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Flat
I don't
iron
care.
it or something.
Yeah.
Brazilian.
Flat iron.
Let's do a Twitter poll.
Maybe cornrows.
Okay.
I've always sort of
Perm.
played with it. Perm. Yeah. Beehive. Yeah.
Dude, I think we should do a Twitter poll for reals about this.
All right.
And I think people would chip in and chat roll. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm down.
this man right here is a former Hollywood Heritage Champion in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He's worked for the WWE. I'm talking Raw, SmackDown, NXT, you name it, all over the world, including Australia and many other countries. Find him on Twitter at TrueHobo.
Yeah, you're pretty lucky to have me.
He's the Hobo, the boxcar superstar.
It's quite an intro of all of my accomplishments, and aren't you lucky to have me here talking into this microphone?
That's what we say every week.
Absolutely.
And we have a special guest tonight. Mark Warzeka is on assignment, but we have a permanent AfterBuzz host here. You can see her every single day live on Musical.ly, which is an app that all the kids love. As well as you can see her frequently on Xpac 12360 right here in AfterBuzz TV with the great Sean Waltman. She's Denice Salcedo.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be on.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
Well, you know, we had the whole the show shakeup, if you will. We had permanent like crews, and now when someone can't make it, we say, hey, we have people to call right away and say, hey, can you come in?
Thank you so much for calling me.
Of course, I actually texted you.
Yeah, that's true.
It would've
And
been
then I
weird. No
double,
one-
triple texted you back.
Well, no, you texted me these robotic. I go, Denise, you on tomorrow? Yes. Okay, Denise, you want to do the after show? Yes, I will be there.
I honestly didn't really think twice about it. I was at a baseball game and I was just like, bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
bam, sent.
I thought you had your like a robot assistant texting me back. I was like, all right, well, she'll be
I'm
there. I
not
guess.
fancy enough for an assistant, guys.
Strap for
Are
it.
you hiring?
Hey, for free, if you're willing to work for
No.
free, sure.
No, I'm not. But thanks for asking.
But he's gonna have good hair.
For
Real
college
soon.
Yes.
credits, maybe. But
And of course, on the ones and twos, the man with the magic and the music. Find him on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. He's Mark Donica.
If I had a theme music, I would play it for myself, but I don't. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's good to see you. Everybody is happy that we've got a wonderful-looking crowd in Hobo here.
hey, yeah, I am wonderful looking, singularly. Thank you.
I'll get there. I have to work up to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I just have a weak constitution in my stomach right now, but I'll get there.
Did you say a weak constitution?
Yes.
Yes.
Stomach.
He's forming his own country, but he's having difficulty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I need some time. I'm going through some paperwork. Then I'll say that Hobo is pretty.
Yeah.
Lovely. You know, take your time. We have a whole hour.
He's putting me on the flag.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, that's
It'll be
something
nice.
that's something that we could fly proudly.
Oh, yeah.
That'll
put
never
that
be at half mast if you're on there.
Oh, no, I'm always at full mast.
Here's
Sure
the show,
am.
ladies and gentlemen.
So, Raw starts off with Miz TV. He calls out Jason Jordan saying he's going to finish what he started, but Kurt Angle, his father, illegitimately, comes out on the ramp and said Jason Jordan already has a match with Curtis Axel tonight at the Miztourage, so he won't be the guest, but he found a guest that is just, you know, even past the Miz's standards. And hot damn, we start off with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, yo.
I was like, what? It's like I'm trying to count, you know, like all the appearances, make sure we don't run out of them.
You keeping a tally sheet?
It's like keeping a tally.
All right.
It's like we got ourselves some Brock Lesnar tonight.
And he was in blue, which a lot of people were like saying like, hey, does Brock know this is not the Raw is not blue? I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
Yep.
I think it was a Canada thing. It was still interesting seeing him interject himself into the Miz's business, and even more interesting seeing the Miz out-talk Paul Heyman. They feat that only the best can do.
We've been saying it every week. Miz has been knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he say to Heyman? He said, amongst many things, goodbye to bad rubbish if Lesnar leaves WWE.
Yeah,
was
but
like,
he said that behind two other people as a
Right.
wall in front of him.
I think he sees Lesnar as probably the biggest obstacle between him and the title, and if Lesnar leaves, he's thinking, well, it makes it a little bit easier for me to get my hands on, so I don't have any sort of problem with Lesnar actually effing off to another company.
Do you think John Jones is watching Raw now just to see if Lesnar leaves?
Maybe.
He might be. It was a good
You
chat. By the
never
way,
know. I feel like he's so busy or something.
I don't know.
Maybe.
By the way, I think the blue T-shirt has to do with Toronto Blue Jays.
There you go.
That's probably.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's a Suplex City Toronto shirt.
probably.
Or the Maple Leafs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
blue.
there we go.
Good point. So yeah, Miz just knocking it out of the park as always. But Paul Heyman says, "Well, after I'm showing up here by the Miz, let me retort. We're going to see a preview of SummerSlam. We're going to do some role playing, or as I found over the weekend, RPG. I found out what that means.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
he
found
apparently
out.
did.
Yeah, I went
Yes.
to Sarah the Rebel, friend of the show, had a barbecue, and I went by, and there weren't too many people left. She goes, "Hey, let's play some RPG games," and I was like, "What's an RPG?"
Rocket-propelled grenade.
I was like, Roppongi Vice? What? She goes, role-playing games. I'm like, okay. Now what? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, like did you do tabletop, dice
Did
games?
you think
No.
things were going to get sexy?
I was.
Role-playing.
It was very hot in the house. I was hoping not. But it was a thing where you play on your phone and it goes to the television set. One of those things.
Oh, was it drawful? Oh, well, that's one of those things. It's like
Some kind of trivia thing. I don't know. But, like, if you play on your phone and went to the TV and, like, people had to guess who the faker was, like, games like that. You ever
okay.
Is
All
that
right.
role-playing games?
Jackbox. It was Jackbox.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, yeah, Jackbox has a lot of different
Play it.
games.
Now I know what RPG means.
They also, I believe they make drawful. I might be wrong.
They
on
do
that.
make drawful. Also,
Yeah, so
Jackbox, not an RPG.
No, that's not a
Oh.
role-playing game.
Okay,
but,
well, they
I
mentioned-
wasn't going to bring that up. Thanks, Mark.
They mentioned they wanted to play RPG games, and so I assumed that's what it was when they broke it out. It was fun, though, nonetheless. I enjoyed it.
Dad.
Thank you. I'm just letting you know how my weekend went, y'all.
Yeah,
Sounds fun. Sounds like fun.
great. That's great.
Anyways.
That's a lot of fun.
You made friends. That's nice.
Anyways, role-playing,
Yeah.
that's what Paul Heyman wanted to do. And what did he say? He said Miz was Roman, Axel was
Braun.
Braun.
And then he had Bo Dallas as Samoa Joe. And Bo Dallas
There you go.
was in particular good looks. He reminded me a lot of IRS tonight, actually, with his hair slicked back like that.
I
I
guess
was
so.
like,
Kind of a cleaner look from him.
yeah, I was just kind of like, ooh, hi.
Okay.
Yeah. Is this a surprise? This isn't a surprise.
Well, I mean, what happens next is certainly no surprise. He completely clears the ring, destroys everybody standing, and asserts himself as the future winner of his SummerSlam 4-way.
And that's awesome. You know, if you're going to have Brock on your show, this is what we want him to be doing on Raw, is
Yes.
cleaning house. I mean, he was killing it. I was just like, every time I thought like somebody else couldn't come into the ring, there it was, like, bam, out, bam, out. It was crazy. I
Yeah.
loved it.
So
like,
many
that's what I want
F5s.
to see Brock do every week.
Yeah, it's like, you get a German suplex, you get an F5.
Yeah, everyone got everything, I think. It's just all the way around. But yeah, so basically Brock Lesnar kicks the crap out of everybody, and they're on their way. So it's kind of neat. Will we see him next week? You got to believe we will, leading up to the Fatal 4-Way.
Maybe we get a week off, and then we
What?
see him right before.
Next week's
I
the
don't
go
know.
home, though.
Is it really?
I think. It's
It's 2 weeks,
It's
too.
2 weeks.
yeah.
Right.
So next
So
week's the
it's-
go home.
Yeah.
Then,
We're 13 days away.
are we? Oh, man.
Oh,
Well,
it's hard to
then,
keep track.
yeah. Then I would have to imagine that he's got to be present. Who knows what he's going to be doing or who he's going to be messing up? Probably not the Miz again.
Yeah.
Whatever stands in his way is not going to stand much of a chance.
I don't know about you guys. What I love about this is, though, is we really have no clue what will happen in the Fatal 4-Way. Nothing's obvious. Of course, they're hinting that Lesnar's going to leave, but you can't just assume that's going to happen. So any one of these four could win, and I won't be shocked. That's what's usually in Fatal 4-Ways. There's always someone you can rule out. Then again, I thought that with Natalya, and she won.
You don't think it's
Yeah.
too soon for Braun? I know some of those arguments were made that it might be a
mean-
little too soon for him. Maybe you want to see him do the chase a little bit.
Yeah, I think it might be too soon for him because Samoa Joe's in there.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
some Samoa Joe. I want to see that belt on him.
Samoa Joe's the smartest guy in the ring. Out of the four of them, he is the most intelligent. He knows tactically how to attack each individual. And tonight, we did not see him but for a moment, but it was impactful enough for us to play his music at the opening of our after show.
Yeah.
There you go.
Samoa Joe would make a great military commander,
He would.
you know?
Yeah, 'cause he'd get in the field with you too.
Yeah, and we're starting to get matches made for SummerSlam, which we'll talk about as the show goes on, but this card is going to be long. There's going to be a lot of matches involved.
It's gonna be lit.
So lit. How many times was that said? Just once tonight?
I think it was just
It
one.
was once. It was two Titus.
Who started lit? Where'd that, like, the use of the word, was it recent? I mean, because everyone's saying it now, mostly in jest, but some people are saying it seriously.
It's slang and it's been around for a while.
That's what I thought. And so has the band. A long, long time.
Sure.
You know the band Lit?
It rang a dim bell for me,
Well,
like way in the back.
that sounds about right.
Makes you want a bunny hop.
There you go. Seth Rollins taking on Sheamus. Rollins starts off very quick, hits a nice Frankensteiner. About to go to the top rope. Sheamus with the distraction and a roll-up. Cesaro with the distraction and a roll-up by Sheamus for the win. Rollins hits a suicide dive on both of them. They both attack and destroy him. And no help.
Nobody comes.
Now, you are former tag team champion.
Sure.
You know all about getting help when you need it and giving help when it's needed.
Right, but I this is like the most tumultuous tag team relationship I've ever seen. These guys are in a tag team sort of by happenstance. They don't necessarily want to be a tag team, but they actually have a tag team, or they have victories over the tag team champions. So they're sort of saddled with one another. Whether they truly want to tag with each other or not, this is just how it is. And after last week, I'm not surprised we didn't see Ambrose post-match. He said, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with you. Do not expect to see me anytime in the near future.
Yeah, backstage, it's what he said. He said, I look like a real jerk now, but guess what? I'm going to the ring by myself. And Seth calls him a real jerk, which...
What? He said exactly what he was going to do. He said it before. It's like, no, we're done. We're good. We're square. We're cool, but we're not that cool. So
Right.
that was it. I didn't expect for him to come out, and if he had, I actually would have been disappointed.
Yeah, it would have been, well, why are you here? Didn't you just say he'd be taking steps backwards on what he said? You gotta stick by what you said. And Ambrose stuck by it.
Yes, he did.
100%. So he's an honorable man, but honorable in his dishonor, arguably.
I think it would have been too much of a repeat from what we saw previously. Then people would be like, okay, well, is this just going to keep happening onward and, keep going when, like you said, Dean wasn't, having it, So, yeah, you know what, though? I really like this match, by the way. It was a really good way to start off Raw.
And my question to you is this the tag match you want to see at SummerSlam? There's a lot of tag teams. We didn't see Hardys tonight. Actually, really, any other tag teams. Is this the match you want to see Dean and Seth taking on Sheamus, Cesaro?
You know what? Yeah, because I really do like Sheamus and Cesaro, and I think they bring out the best in each other, so that's why I definitely would like to see it. So I definitely don't mind it at all.
Cool.
This match is becoming something that people want to see. It didn't necessarily start out that way, but they're actually building the intrigue, and of course, I believe the champions would like this match. Like, the chances of the challengers actually gaining a victory is still sort of questionable, but I do not question that the champions would like this match because of the tumultuous relationship of their challengers and the high probability that they could walk away retaining the belts. So if the champions were to ask for this, I wouldn't be surprised.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm good with this because these wrestlers are amazing. I mean, all of them together in one ring, that's fantastic. That's going to be a really great story that they're all going to tell, and it's going to be epic. I kind of would have preferred for them to go up against even more of a heel tag team, though, just to get some more of that face for the both of them. Like the Club or maybe Revival, but it's just they're not built up enough to go up against, Rollins and Ambrose. So for right now, this is the only thing that really makes sense. It's the only fit.
And the crowd was hot for them when they, we'll get to it, but the fist bump and not fist bump and everything. This crowd was very strange. Toronto was odd tonight. They had Philly, Chicago vibes to them tonight. They were very weird.
A little bit, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what they wanted, but they didn't. They weren't afraid of entertaining themselves for sure.
Which, moving on, Jason Jordan gets announced supposed to face Curtis Axel, but Axel could not be medically cleared after being eaten by Brock Lesnar. So Jean-Pierre Goulet, possible relative to Robert. Goulet.
Olay.
You and me, staring contest right now.
I don't even know who to stare at. I lose. So Angle, instead of finding someone on the regular roster, he just sees a dude in a singlet. He's like, "Hey, get out there."
Always be prepared.
Yeah, I guess so. That's
Always be in gear.
the Boy Scout motto.
If I'm backstage under my suit, I'm wearing my gear. I'm ready to just whip it off and run to the ring. Because that's the kind of professional I am.
That's right.
Are you ready to wrestle? Right now, I'm ready to wrestle. That's right. I'll fight anybody. I don't even care. Jason Jordan, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was, it would have been awesome right now if you just went whoop and you had it on.
And you had a singlet
Yeah, I
on.
was like, come on, let's do it.
I just wear trunks, so if I was tearing off my shirt, it would just make me shirtless.
But you're the boxcar superstar. You don't need trunks to fight.
Well, no.
You'll fight in
no,
anything.
But I'm starting to really be comfortable with the less I wear, the more comfortable I am.
Well, that's generally the
More comfortable my opponent is, too. I can't hide weapons as easily in a pair of trunks as I could a singlet.
Well, I don't know what Jean-Pierre Goulet had in his singlet, but it didn't work against Jason Jordan. Quick work, the pop-up neckbreaker for the win. But this crowd, and just in general, the crowds are not taking kindly to Jason Jordan. I don't quite know what it is. I don't know if they want him to all of a sudden become like a pompous individual, or if they just don't want to. It's very weird.
Well, it's an odd situation. I think they're looking at him wrestling guys that don't have the best track record and going, look at him get this easy ride because his dad is who he is. Like, they want to see him actually take on some competitors with some real background instead of these guys who don't seem to be as battle tested. Kurt Hawkins aside.
I think what's failing here is that, you know, Jason Jordan doesn't exactly have that like charisma that everybody, you know, is attracted to. He needs a little bit extra. Like he doesn't have enough to get the crowd like behind him and supporting him. And then even today when they had, you know, Jean-Pierre Goulet, the fans were like, let's go Jobber. I mean, that was so funny. I was like, if they're not cheering for Jason Jordan, like this is not happening for Jason Jordan at all. Like no one is going like standing behind him.
Which is very confusing. He's a likable guy. I don't
Super
know.
likable.
But you also have to keep in mind, this was a Canadian wrestler wrestling an American wrestler in Canada.
Right, they didn't put him in a good situation. If they want the crowd to get behind Jason Jordan, Jean-Pierre Goulet was the wrong dude.
Right.
Yeah,
It's-
unless they are going the Kurt Angle with it.
I mean,
like maybe
yeah.
that has that trajectory. If they do, then this is a good move, good step in the right direction.
I mean,
you know,
Kurt,
good
Kurt
step in that
Angle
heel
was,
direction.
was not a well-liked wrestler for a very long time. I mean, even the crowd rings with "You suck" every time he walks to the ring. Granted, it's in a loving way now, but for the
Now.
longest time, they meant it.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle sucked. You hated him.
Yeah, he was very good at it. And who knows, that could be the way for Jason Jordan, because if the crowd's not to get behind him, you got to do something. The last thing you want is apathy. And right now, they're kind of silent. So
Heal him up. Heal him up a little. Let's
it's
see.
awful quick.
In that
Let's see
case,
it.
just
That's right.
stay. All he has to do is stay the course.
Yeah,
Or-
give just a little bit heal and see if people like the taste.
Or let him go the Rocky Maivia route, which is kind of the Roman Reigns route, and see how bad they really start to boo him if that does anything. And then all of a sudden, boom, make the switch. I don't know.
He just needs to give us a reason. We don't have a reason to love him. We don't have a reason to hate him. He's just there, essentially.
Yeah. Well, injury time, guys, unfortunately. So Bayley hits the ring and sling with her right shoulder. We saw what happened last week. The initial injury looked like it happened as she was being sent underneath the bottom rope. And then the face plant didn't really help.
It made it worse. Considerably
Yeah.
worse.
Of all things to fall on, that's what happened.
yeah.
So,
Sympathy pain.
she's she didn't, she's mad and angry, and the crowd booed her too. And part of it was the fact that I feel like just Bayley seemed like she just wasn't prepared to speak. It was very odd. I don't know if it was emotion or just.
I don't think she was ready to hang it up.
Yeah.
I think she's got this injury, and it's an injury I've had. I've fought through before. I don't think she was ready to hang it up. I think her hands are tied, and they're making her sit out her championship match at SummerSlam, one of the biggest events of the calendar year for WWE. This is a heartbreaking situation for her. She's not happy about it, but she really does her best to put on a strong face and be the person that we want her to be.
Well, as someone who separated his AC joint in the ring before, it's a painful thing to deal with, but there's different levels of it. Sometimes you could just do some mobilizations like I've done for you to get the AC joint back in place, where all of a sudden you have freedom of movement in your shoulder. I don't know how bad her separation is. She may have trouble even getting it past 90. If that's the case, you're right-handed, you can't really...
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have 13 days, you have physical therapists down there, and you have kinesio tapes. So it's hard to say. I feel like this is one of those things they had to do, because if they were going to replace her, well, you do these triple threat matches, and bam, the #1 contendership next week. It's a tough call.
No, it's never easy.
I think what really sucks particularly about this for Bayley is that, she had the downfall with the kendo stick match. She lost in her hometown. She was not going through such a great patch here. And then, she finally gets her match at SummerSlam, and then this happens. This is not Bayley's year, unfortunately. And I think that, prior to her being pulled up to the main roster, we were expecting so much more for her. We're like, oh man, when she comes to the main roster, she's going to be this, and that. And, I'm assuming she thought the same thing. And now to have this happening, all these things happen to her this year, it's just not looking good for her. And then, I believe that some of the people were booing her tonight, which was pretty messed up, I think.
I don't know if they were booing her or the situation
Maybe.
that she was in.
It was weird.
I don't know.
Boo you having to give it up. I don't want to see her give it up. I want to see her complete this whole thing.
I know. She even
earned
said,
it.
though, I'm not talking to the people that are booing me right now. She even said that while she was in the ring. Maybe they weren't booing her. Maybe they were booing the situation. But her state of mind had it where it was oh, they're booing me.
The way the
that
boos,
says a lot.
The moment they kicked in, it almost seemed like they were booing her for some strange reason.
Yeah. I think what it is that it's just regrouping time for Bayley. That's what it is. I mean, take the hint with it, regroup. I kind of wish that they hadn't done this where she's in the ring and she has to endorse somebody else. I would have preferred for it to be, there was this giant injury with her. Oh, she's out for the count. Nia Jax is a monster. She's an animal. She took out, when she was going to do her champion run. Who's going to, go to the plate now? I wish that they had taken that route instead of this one.
Yeah, it kind of... They downplayed how dangerous Nia Jax is. Nia Jax is incredibly dangerous.
In many ways.
There is no greater threat to the champion than Nia Jax, truly. Who can stand up to her? Nobody. She just got size on absolutely everybody. She will completely run over anyone in her path.
It was a missed opportunity to just ram that home. So.
I mean, she is a monster. They keep trying to bill her as such, and here's an opportunity where you really get to show, look at how monstrous she truly is, and they kind of back away.
Well,
from
last
it.
time they had that gauntlet match, and Sasha Banks somehow managed to defeat her, even though Nia Jax ran through the competition. Is history going to repeat itself to where you're just looking at her versus Sasha when she's twice the size and saying, oh, well, all right, David versus Goliath, okay, I guess it happened. But then again, Alexa's even smaller than Sasha.
Exactly.
Oh my God, she's like half the size of Sasha.
Yeah.
She's like Diet Sasha.
If Nia Jax wrestles at SummerSlam, that's gonna have to be a very creatively booked match.
I think that either competitor involved is going to be really creative. I mean, their opponents, you have Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Neither of them have size advantages. They're pretty technically sound because of the fact that they don't have a terribly broad power game.
Yeah.
So you have to be technical and you have to be fast, and both of those skills are exactly what you use to defeat Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you use precision. You get in the technical with it. You take out those knees,
Right.
and then go for the neck. as much as the neck as you can get a hold of.
We're going to have 2 triple threat matches tonight. The first one being Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox versus Emma. I like this because we got to see every woman on the roster, which we hadn't seen in quite some time, which is nice. Sasha does make Emma tap, and Emma's calling for opportunities. She's sick of not getting opportunities. Well, she had one tonight, and she tapped out. So Sasha Banks moving on to next week. Any thoughts on this match, guys?
This was a really good match. I don't know how you guys felt. It was quick, it was good, it was entertaining. My eyes did not peel away from the television screen at all during this. And I actually thought Emma was one of the people that shined a lot during this match. And honestly, I for a second thought she was going to take the win.
I mean, that Northern Lights from Alicia is a thing of beauty.
It's amazing.
Every
on
time.
the toes. So on the toes. Oh. Just drives me
It was
wild.
very nicely executed, too.
Emma looked like she absolutely wanted this, needed this.
Yeah.
She went so far as to give Sasha Banks a wheelbarrow suplex on the apron. And that was really pretty devastating. That's a tough maneuver to hit on a space that big, but she managed to do so, and it really rung in Sasha Banks' whole entire being. And I honestly think that Emma... that there was a referee count in there. That was a 2 9/10. That it was so close that I almost believe Emma won this match just from that cover on Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
But the referee made the call that he made, and so Emma ended up losing the match.
Yeah, and if you're looking at both triple threats, I mean, they were both very predictable as far as who came out on top, but, right now it is leading to SummerSlam. They want to have the most popular people involved, so moving on.
Really
But
quick.
Emma should have
Mark.
she should have more of a chance. They need to give her more opportunities. I want her hounding after Kurt Angle for, get me in the ring, put me in, coach. I kind of need that because I want to see more of her. And I want to wear some purple lipstick for when she wins.
Totally
Mark?
agree with Markeia.
Yes, you should. I like your purple lipstick, Mark.
Thank you. I'm glad that you got to borrow it that one night.
Yeah.
That was weird. But in chat, Angie Harris brought up a point that I think could be a fun, crazy prediction that I would like to throw out there. What if we get to SummerSlam, we have our competitor, whoever it is, up against Alexa Bliss, and they get taken out in the pre-show? Just sort of like, good, now Alexa doesn't have to defend the belt against anybody. And that's a good opportunity for somebody like, I don't know, just throwing this out there, Asuka to come up and take her place and debut in a women's championship match at SummerSlam, depending on how her match at TakeOver goes.
Oh, gotcha. I was going to say,
Okay, 'cause, like-
oof.
Or if Nia ends up winning out of her and Sasha Banks, if she doesn't want to face the champion, she doesn't necessarily have to.
That is also true.
She could bow out of that match, her and Alexa Bliss being as tight as they are. She doesn't necessarily have to fight her for the title.
Yep.
Which would create an opening in which somebody relatively unknown could come in and beat her out for that title.
I mean, Asuka could always just, be the champ on both shows?
We tried that a while ago.
Yeah.
It did not pan out. Paige
Yeah,
came up when
Paige
she was still a champion, and they did
didn't.
not allow her to
They-
be NXT champion, as well as
Took
what was
that
it,
right
Divas
Or
back.
at the
she could
time?
just give the NXT Women's title away.
We're wondering that in NXT ourselves. There's a women's tournament, and we are trying to understand what the benefit is of winning the tournament. And we're maybe theorizing that Asuka could drop the belt so that the winner of the women's tournament could be the new women's champion of NXT.
But what about all the women that are already on the roster that are not in that tournament?
Everybody's in the tournament. Everybody is in the tournament for the women's. Yeah.
Oh, you're not talking about the Mae Young Classic. You're talking about the
No,
current...
we're talking about the Mae Young Classic. Yes, and there are a lot of women in that tournament.
But for example, Billie Kay Peyton Royce aren't. You know what I mean? Like, they would have some kind of say, wouldn't they?
Not necessarily. Why would they? They've lost time and time again.
Okay.
The winner's the winner.
It's an interesting theory. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Because you're right. What do you win? guaranteed contract. Maybe they could throw
because
that out there.
For the Cruiserweight tournament, it ended up being the Cruiserweight Championship. Now, maybe if it's the women's tournament, it's going to be the women's championship. It's possible, but it would mean that Asuka would have to vacate and be moving up.
Yeah, I really hope this tournament does well. I would love to see them create their own hour-long television show, all women.
I'd have no problem with that.
Yeah,
It'd be fun for sure.
Be
I
pretty
think
cool.
as long as we just build more women and that way we can have more competitors, you know, that way we won't be seeing the same round of girls, you know, just like the tag team division, the women's division also needs more people.
And it needs a tag team division.
Well, I know
So.
Bree and Nikki both told Dale Rutledge that they would love to come back as a tag team and fight for women's tag team titles.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So you
I'd
never
be
know.
behind that.
Braun Strowman says Roman's yard is mine. That's pretty much the message he had across. I'm sure he said a couple other things in very deep tone. That one got me there. That one got me. Enzo, he brings out the big show, and he said that one thing Cass needs to learn is respect. And last week he found out Cass's jaw is soft, but then Gallows and Anderson ruined the party. And they call them nerds, and they say that they're not a matchup for the Good Brothers. They've been around the world ski. And then we have a tag team match, otherwise known as a tag team match.
You know it's the Mac Militant. Coming to get it on. You got 'em on me. I'm coming to thunder and lightning striking. I'm inviting you all to the storm.
That's right. That felt good.
The lights in here, I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, okay.
We always find a way. So yes, we have a match here. There's a suicide dive by Enzo. Actually, there's after the match. They go for a magic killer. Enzo reverses, but a big boot. Enzo gets pinned for the win. So big win for the club.
Even I lost track of who the legal man was coming to the end there. And
No idea.
Enzo's going to pin Gallows with a beautiful O'Connor roll, but here comes Anderson with a knee straight to the exposed face and then pins Enzo. I don't know where the tag was, but I sure missed it.
I don't know. But then after the match, Enzo, suicide dive. He goes after Cass. Cass just throws him off like a gnat.
Yeah, Cass showed up, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Cass did show up.
Yeah.
The WMD to Big Cass was a thing of beauty. He just walked right into just a massive punch from Big Show.
Yeah, no, I love, I'm just going to call it hammer space work at this point.
Sure.
I love hammer space work, and it looked like Big Show's been borrowing the pocket from Samoa Joe, because that Christmas ham of a fist just took out Cass right on the sweet spot.
Ham or space?
Ham.
Oh,
Ham.
no, get out.
All right, I'll leave. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
No! Stay,
Good seeing you, pal.
please.
It'll be on the wide shot for the rest of the show. I hope you have a good one.
Of course, Joe Loco in chat roll saying no butt rock in memory of Ty, talking about Gallows and Anderson's song. Yeah, well, there it is.
Butt rock.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. I can't believe they call them nerds.
Why
Call
not?
everybody
Because
nerds.
it's like wrestling. We're all nerds. We're all nerds. It's wrestling. It's a nerdy thing.
Yeah, but Gallows and Anderson can call people what they want.
Yeah, I guess so.
I liked when Enzo called Gallows and Anderson ugly. That was funny.
Oh, I love it. I forgot about it. Where they were like, "Oh, this one should do this because it's Dr. Evil
Yeah.
and Mini-Me," and that was really
funny.
spot on.
It's a little
Spot on.
dated, in my opinion.
I thought it was funny because as soon as the camera went back over there, I was like, "Okay, my dad got that joke."
Look, any old reference, I'm on board, so totally okay with me. Finn Balor's in Toronto. He calls it the Balor Club. He said last week he kicked Bray's teeth in. And he said, Bray Wyatt, whatever you start, I will finish. And derp. Bray shows up, smiling, laughing. I think Bray, just takes lithium before he hits the ring. He's just always
He's
giggling.
just happy to be there. You know, he's got a decent for Bray Wyatt arc going on. So, you know, it could be better. It could be much better, but they're doing stuff with him. It's happening.
I loved this segment, and I'm going to tell you why, because it was totally different from Bray Wyatt coming out and talking forever, where you're learning all these new vocabulary words that he uses. And this time, Finn was always a step ahead of him. It was really fun to see him, every time Bray tried getting at him, Finn was, he expected what was coming. And then the lights go down, and Bray Wyatt is all of a sudden backstage, and he's honestly, I thought this was really cool. It was different.
Yeah, and actually, I love the fact that Finn was just out-quicking everything Bray Wyatt did. Because the guy's an incredible athlete. He's not the most charismatic talker in the world, but when you see Finn Balor doing what Finn Balor does, in this instance, it was just fantastic to watch. And even though Bray said, after I rip you down from the heavens, I promise they all gonna fall with you. I mean, they're getting people invested. This is gonna be, I'm assuming, SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I want them to turn up the volume a bit with it. You know, let's see some of that creepiness, more of that creepiness that Bray's really great at, and you know, have Finn lose his cool a little bit. I did like that he was perched and ready to go.
Yeah.
Once the lights came back up. I thought that was a masterful move.
We're getting
Very
a
nice.
cocky Finn Balor, which is, I think, what we need. If you know.
He's not cocky. He's confident.
Well, there you
he
go.
can deliver. I'd say more than anybody, Bray Wyatt is cocky. He's
Yeah.
cocky that he can actually put away Finn Balor when his numbers are just not there. He couldn't beat a ham sandwich half the time if he wanted to. But Finn Balor is a hot new item, relatively speaking, and he's so smooth. Once
Yep.
he gets rolling in that ring, you can't catch him, you can't touch him, and all of a sudden you're getting hit from all sides. He's dangerous, dangerously smooth.
And then quick face kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. We do have, I guess, confirmation that the match is going to happen at SummerSlam. So, whew, a lot happening.
Yeah, I want them to up that creep factor.
Yeah.
Want to see it.
I actually like that Finn mentioned, and I was expecting more of like laughter from the crowd. I was like the only person laughing during this part when he's like, "Oh yeah, Bray Wyatt, he creeps me out," and I was like, "That's funny," but it didn't get over as much as I expected it to be. But I liked that Finn mentioned that, and that like made it for me.
The whole thing is still pretty new, and the fact that we have SummerSlam in less than 2 weeks, I mean, I don't think it's quite as much as it could be, but maybe it'll continue down the road. I don't really know.
It seems like it couldn't get as hot as we would like this soon. For them to up it this quick doesn't feel right to me. If this were to run to WrestleMania, I think it would be a high-profile match and the type of match that we want to see. Right now, I think we're just going to see, Finn Balor, regular Balor Club Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, but we'd rather see the Demon. I think all of us, but it's going to take time for it to get there.
I mean, Optimus Provost in chat roll says, I just want someone to be afraid of Bray like Xavier was. And I completely
Yes.
agree. When
Yes.
are people going to be afraid of him again? I don't know what it takes.
Great. When are we going to see him brainwash somebody again?
Well, because Xavier can act. I don't know who else can.
Like, get something going like that. Let's see some more compound work or something. Although the way Bray's been dressing, lately, I see him more in an artist loft than I do in a shack, in a
Mixologist.
swamp. Yeah. So,
It's the Wyatt tent city, not the Wyatt compound.
right.
Yeah.
With a microbrewery next door.
Yes. He lives downtown now.
Dean Ambrose taking on Cesaro. And boy, oh boy, does Booker get lost on commentary in this match. It was it entertaining to listen to. First off, this match was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes.
I would have said match of the night until the main event, then I'm like blown away.
I'd say this was match of the night.
I mean, you're right.
Non-stipulation match?
Right.
This was match of the night.
Without a doubt. I mean, commentary aside, it was very entertaining to listen to because, But let's go to the match because I can't even say what was on commentary. It was just all over the place.
Yeah, they were having a field day. It was kind of like listening to lunchroom talk. It was cafeteria talk that was happening during this match.
I guess so. But yeah, take it away.
This was a really good and solid match. I honestly have to praise Cesaro for this one because even though, Dean did his part, I think Cesaro was the one that shined really bright during this match. He was doing all of these great things that it's the reason why we like Cesaro in the first place and why he's in the company, and I think that we saw that here today as well. Just a little bit of a reminder if it hadn't been seen in a while. And I really enjoyed this match, and then even towards the end I thought hey, are we watching some sort of love story here with Dean and Seth? Because it was just one is playing hard to get with the other. One wants each other. One wants him at one point, then he doesn't want him. It was like a romance.
A misconnection.
I think this match, it really had everything in it. It had a little bit of the technical side starting off, and you really don't get to see what Dean Ambrose is fully capable of until he gets in there with somebody who he can actually go, hold for hold with, and he's really technically sound. He's a really gifted wrestler. what he sort of rests his hat on is that sort of counter striking, but he can get down with the best of them, and this is a match that reminds you what he's truly capable of, and that he's really gifted and talented. And having a guy like Cesaro in there absolutely beating the hell out of Dean shows you that he's a survivor at heart. That is his wrestling style.
Yeah.
It's a lot like mine. You take a whole lot of punishment and then you dole out just enough in the right spot to completely level your opponent. It's an intelligent way of working, but it seems out of control when you're looking at it without really analyzing it, but it's very intelligent.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, two just really talented people putting on a hell of a match. Dean gets the roll-up for the win, and then, of course, they attack afterwards. Rollins comes back, makes the save. They get rid of Sheamus and Cesaro, and then we see the fist from, of all people, Dean.
Dean had nothing left. If Rollins didn't come out to save him, they would have literally torn Dean in half.
Yep.
One grabbed the arms, the other grabbed the legs, and they just start pulling until you see innards all over the place.
Yeah, almost
like
like
one of those Christmas poppers.
Back in the day.
Yeah. No,
Well-
it was like because the match itself I really enjoyed because I enjoy grappling. I like it when, it comes down to that technical element of words. And you don't see that so much because it's more patient. And I really enjoyed them doing that in the match. And then it just kind of, ramped up and escalated from there. So to have that with him basically dancing in the ring with Cesaro, to being saved by Rollins, to being, for Ambrose, being totally cool with, hey, you know what? It was 3 years ago. What you said before did resonate with me. Bro, we're cool.
Yeah.
We're all the way cool. And then have Rollins walk away from that.
Fantastic. Which means next Monday it's all going to one way or the other, which we probably know what it is. But I did love the fact that he walked away because it's given people want this, and we're not giving it to them. And I love pissing people off.
And it broke
Frustrate the
everybody's
one.
hearts because everyone was like, yes, yes, and then he just did it. It was shocking.
This crowd was on fire for this moment.
It was a hell of a moment.
Yeah.
Because you could feel the electricity of they really connected. As a team, as two individuals, you see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose actually connect, and you think maybe we can get it like old times. Maybe it can be the way it used to be. And the crowd wants that. They want to feel that electricity once again. But as two people, they're not ready to reconnect and put themselves on the line like that.
Remember when this happened months back with Goldust and R-Truth? All of a sudden, Goldust wanted to team up, and then R-Truth wanted to team up, and then they just reversed it for some reason that I still don't know, and then they finally teamed up, and now, we'll get to Goldust. All right, moving on. Titus Worldwide, y'all. He has a hyperbaric chamber. I love this. The fact that he brought up a hyperbaric chamber investment that he made to help heal up Tozawa's shoulder, I love that, man. That's staying on top of the healing game, because hyperbaric chambers have become a new healing regimen for people, and I think that's super cool.
What is it?
Hyperbaric, it's basically like...
I thought he was just making up a comic book thing. So
No,
I was like,
heard
yes.
about it, but I don't have the money or the patience for anything
So
other than
it's,
duct tape.
Well,
and
there-
Is it very sci-fi like?
There are places
Johnny?
that you can go and you can get it to. It's like there's a cryo zone, cold therapies as well.
About that.
Where you hop in for 3 minutes and it does a lot of things. It helps burn fat. It helps your blood circulation. It does a lot of things. And so hyperbaric chamber is a new way of treating injuries and helping heal. So, so yeah, Tozawa's good. Neville said doesn't matter who wins. Nobody's taking the title at SummerSlam. There we go. Leading into Tozawa and Daivari. Pretty quick work, man. Senton for the win. Bam.
Yeah, I mean, I like Daivari. I like what he's bringing. I like his energy, his intensity. But at this point, Tozawa's just a step ahead.
Yeah, he's on
just got him.
fire.
Yeah.
It was just nice, and I like that it worked out because it looked like it wasn't going to work out with him and Titus Worldwide, and now it is. So I like this little trio that they have going on with Titus, Apollo Crews, and then also Tozawa. So
Tozawa's hot right now. I do think that within time, give it a little time with Daivari, I think we'll probably see, a little bit more from him because he's a good worker. So I think it'll eventually come through. But yeah, no, Tozawa's hot right now with the Titus brand and everything going on, and I just love them all together.
Me too.
They're so
It's
funny.
fun. It really is fun to watch. And so I don't know. I still think Neville hangs on to it forever. But
Well, somebody's got to beat him at some point.
you would think.
Nobody stays with it forever. Everybody loses at some point.
That's a good point.
That's true. Even the New Day did.
Absolutely.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. Renee with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns says he doesn't watch Miz TV, doesn't care what Brock Lesnar does. He's going to walk out as champion at SummerSlam. But first, last man standing with Braun.
Wait. Another women's triple threat.
Oh, that was after Roman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was it?
Yes, yeah. Reigns backstage. Another women's triple threat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no,
Yeah.
I wasn't jumping to the main event. I was just saying, yeah.
Oh,
I was paraphrasing.
Because you did it last week.
I was
And to
paraphrasing.
bring it back in.
I was paraphrasing.
Well,
All right, there we go. Mickie James taking on Dana Brooke, taking on Nia Jax. And, you know, some great moments here, but Nia just dominating, hitting the
ate
leg
them.
drop on
All
Dana
them.
for the win. And
Yeah.
almost decapitating her at one point.
just
It's
that's
like they
what
were a
Nia
buffet.
does.
Yeah. I mean, it really frustrates me that they miss the point with earlier with making Nia into this huge monster that took out Bayley, because then that would have been so great having that mentality and that setup for her to go into this match, and then she devastates them too. Then it's this beautiful narrative that just keeps on going, and I want them to pick up the slack on this.
I don't know if they lost any steps necessarily when you're fighting two other individuals. And she was in control for a good chunk of this match, but then she just missed one step. She's like anybody. She's not infallible. She'll miss a cue occasionally, and that's her weakness. Just one misstep, and all of a sudden she's out of the ring, which allowed Mickie James and Dana Brooke to start to work one-on-one until Nia reintroduced herself, completely leveled the playing field again, and then got the win.
I was just thrilled to see Mickie James again. What the heck?
Right?
Where's she been? She's a legend, and she still is amazing. Why is she not part of a storyline? Come on now.
I know, they don't know what to do with her. But then this seems to be a running thing with a number of wrestlers.
I mean, I don't see why Mickie James should not be in the title picture. I mean, she is fantastic. I get it. She's not the youngest one of the group, but it doesn't matter. She's great.
Yeah, writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on, Goldust. This is interesting. Something I'm looking forward to at SummerSlam. He's going to share his greatest masterpiece at SummerSlam, having an audition to where he may find his next hero, villain, or starlet.
It's a completely open call.
Yeah.
Who thinks that R-Truth is going to show up?
I hope not.
And just with some beatdown.
I hope not.
He's going to show up at the audition.
I mean, what if you went with your new hair, Hobo?
Oh, there you go.
If I went,
Yeah.
if I get a tight enough dress, I could be a starlet.
There you go.
Put
And
some
like you said
glitter
earlier,
eyeshadow.
you just tear it right off once you're,
Absolutely.
wrestling anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well, maybe a dress. I'd keep the dress on. I don't know.
Amazing.
I'm comfortable with myself.
yeah, dresses are expensive. So
Well, you need to go to the thrift store. You need to go thrift shopping. You never know what you find.
that is
Find
true.
lots of stuff.
He's going to pop some tags. And
Wish
he
I
does.
had $20 in my pocket.
Oh, Hobo.
Just saying.
Kurt Angle with Big Cass. Oh boy, I'm sweating now. I'm laughing. Cass wants Big Show at SummerSlam, and he wants Enzo to be gone and nowhere near the ring. And so Kurt Angle just, off the top of his head is, what do you want, a shark cage?
Yeah.
Because that's what we all suggest.
We all want a shark cage.
Love a shark cage.
When is the answer ever no to that?
That's
Ever.
never what I can think of.
It should be no more often than it is. But, so we're going to have it. We're going to have Big Cass, Big Show with Enzo in a shark cage.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me when Jericho was put in the shark cage. That was great. He's like, no. Like Enzo would probably freak out, right? He wouldn't go quietly into that cage.
Could he possibly jump out of the cage onto both of them?
Wow, probably.
Wow,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
might.
he
Because
could.
at this point, you have to do something in the shark cage that hasn't been done.
He probably picked the lock and then like dangle out
He's got
of
enough
it.
bobby pins in that weird hair of his.
Something
Yeah.
like
Not only that, I think the interesting thing about this too is that the shark cage is usually held for like heels. So this is the first time that we're seeing Enzo, who's not necessarily a heel, be put into a shark cage. So you're gonna see like a little bit of the dynamics change as in like how is this all gonna play out, which I think is really cool. And I wasn't expecting them to do this whole shark cage situation.
I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, well, I bet Corey Graves would be happy because it's like this basically putting Enzo in timeout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
he wouldn't have a microphone; he'd just be up there.
Oh God, what if he had a microphone? Be so loud the entire time and no one could do anything because he's hanging in a shark cage.
Not a bad idea. But yeah, one more match that is official for SummerSlam, and of course, interesting stipulation to say the least.
What is this? It's just a shark cage.
Right, and if
Like
there's
this.
anyone who's not afraid of jumping out of a shark cage, it would be Enzo.
The boy is a bomb.
He'd do it. He'd pick the lock and like dangle and ragdoll on the way down on
Yeah.
top of somebody.
He's gonna do
Both
it.
of them together.
yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
He's for sure gonna do it. Looking
Yikes.
forward to seeing
Be
that.
really cool.
In the main event, last man standing match. Oh my gosh, what wasn't
Yikes.
used in this?
Everything was used. All the things.
This felt like a pay-per-view match to me. This was like really special. I loved it so much. Everything about it, I was just like, oh man, I fangirled during the entire time. I loved it.
As you should have. I mean, these two together, we've mentioned it before. Some people just have a chemistry where they're not afraid to lay it in. These two are, it's like the 1980s with these two, or even the 60s and 70s where people legit beat each other up every single night out. That's what these two do.
I mean, this match was a dream match for two people in particular. Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar.
Sure.
I'm sure they were absolutely as gleeful as humanly possible to see these two competitors just before their championship match beat the tar out of each other, making sure that neither one of them was 100% for SummerSlam. What a gift for both Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe.
And when Braun Strowman used that chair and just catapulted it at Reigns,
It was so straight.
it was
like
just
like a dart.
missile.
It's amazing.
Something. It was just like, wait, where did that? Oh, and he's down.
The timing for that was perfect, by the way. I feel like everybody that was watching on their TV, like everyone at the same moment was like, because it was just this perfect moment. And like, it was awesome.
Yeah, like that could have been the count out for me, and I would have been satisfied with that.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'd be like, yes, nicely done. Nice.
Even Roman Reigns taking those stairs, those heavy steel chairs,
Yeah.
Yes.
and actually denting them on the torso of Braun Strowman.
That's crazy.
I was completely beside myself. I had never seen those stairs dented in that fashion before.
No.
But Roman Reigns saw fit to wrap them around Braun Strowman's torso.
I mean, everything. These two are just so good. That's why I say just let them fight all the way to WrestleMania Family Guy style. Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Because they're both incredible together. And just like we already mentioned, the chair thing. Braun Strowman could not have fired it in more perfect timing.
Should play football.
Yeah.
You think he probably
He's tall enough to be a QB, just
did he play? He probably played everything, right?
Yeah.
who knows?
I don't know anything about him as far as a person.
Like athleticism?
Yeah, like where'd the guy come from? I mean,
Oh, I don't know.
how'd he
I know
get
he's
found?
I know he's a power lifter. They found him out of college, I'm pretty sure.
So he's a young guy?
Relatively.
Jesus, I mean, facial hair just makes everyone look like
Yeah.
a man. You know,
Yeah, but it's
He's
like
a
the
man.
the stairs were in danger, the chair was in danger, the screen on the stage, the announcer's table. It's like everything was just like everything's a weapon, and I love it.
And then the Samoa Joe moment for like a glitch millisecond. I was like, wait, why is that fat? Wait, oh, it's Samoa Joe. Like that's how my brain was working at that moment. It was unexpected, and I'm so happy they did that.
Beautiful.
everything about we didn't even get to, yes. Okay, so anyways, the match is just everything about it is just incredible. I mean, they fight all the way to the announcer's table. Superman punches galore, and then Roman spears Strowman all the way down near the ring, at the bottom of the ramp. Just when you think Roman maybe is going to keep him down, well, we have a certain fan that gets a little physical, and that's Samoa Joe. and he puts a coquina clutch on Roman, knocks him out cold.
And he wasn't wearing a mask. He just did it. And then
He's not scared.
yeah, and then he crap talked when Reigns was on the ground. He's like, "Yeah, that's what it does." I'm Samoa Joe.
Technically, Roman Reigns won this match. If the ref had kept counting Braun Strowman down, Roman Reigns would have won it. But he didn't. He stopped because he saw Samoa Joe.
Okay.
And then Reigns went down, and then Strowman was able to recover and get back up.
Wow.
Technically,
I did not
Reigns
think about
won.
All right.
Interesting. Yes, the ref should have kept the count going for Strowman because Strowman was down.
Truly, the only winner was Samoa Joe.
Oh,
He won.
Oh,
the
'cause-
winner.
yeah.
The winner was all of us.
Because the clutch happened shortly after the spear.
Right.
So
and
Braun
the
was
ref was in the
down.
middle of the count. He was like at a 6 when Samoa got that clutch on. The ref should have kept counting.
Yeah.
Ooh,
didn't.
excellent point, Hobo.
Well, that's probably not going to get brought up. But
Well, I mean, why would it? It makes sense. The referee sees a guy in the crowd suddenly snap a sleeper hold on one of the wrestlers. I'm sure he didn't know it was Samoa Joe, so thinking, I might have to pry this fan off of Roman Reigns.
that's a great point. The referee technically should have, there's no DQ. He should have just kept counting regardless of whatever clutch may have been on.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I love how you said fan right then.
Well, I mean, we didn't know it was him.
Yeah, like
just
it-
looked like a big man suddenly grab Roman Reigns and you go, oh, whoa, Samoa Joe, oh, thank God.
Because you couldn't even see his face. You only saw the arm
Just
and
big beefy arm wrap around his throat.
Just,
Man.
wow.
It was a great TV moment because obviously for the fans, they saw Samoa Joe getting there, but us, we had no clue. It wasn't spoiled by turning heads on the screen. It was just done
And
perfectly.
The fans didn't seem to be making a whole lot of noise either, which was kind of surprising. Usually fans give it away live, but it must have been just subtle enough to where they didn't pay much attention because they were looking at Reigns spearing Braun. So then Samoa can make his way to the front, and nobody's the wiser until he snaps on that coquina clutch.
Yep, he was hiding in the hammer space.
Was.
That's where it was.
Yeah.
He hides in corners. This man hides in
He's
shadows.
a big man to be hiding like
I
that,
know.
Big shadow.
He
Big
folds
shit.
himself into space or something.
too. Yeah, dangerous.
Yes.
And of course, Toronto couldn't end Raw without one more chant, and that was the "Thank you, Joe," after he choked out Roman Reigns.
Sure.
And that happened. So,
Oh, we're a special breed.
Yeah.
pretty impactful Raw though.
This was good. Felt good.
Had a
7
lot of
matches.
great in
Seems
it.
like we're getting about 7 matches a week, which actually that's an okay number. I can live with that.
A lot happened tonight. Even when we got to the second women's triple threat match, I was like, oh yeah, that's happening too. Like, it was just so much like one thing right after another.
I mean, with Bayley getting hurt, they had to come up with something, and at least they found a way to get everyone involved, which is good. Hopefully, she comes back soon. Hopefully, no surgeries required. Same thing with with Scott Dawson.
Scott,
And the bicep tear. With biceps, you don't necessarily need surgery when you tear your bicep. You have enough muscles to make up for it, but it's visual. Depending on how bad the tear is, you'll want to get it repaired.
I've seen nasty ones that haven't been repaired. It looks odd.
Yeah, I've seen it
But
on some
it's-
older people, yeah.
Right, it's not completely necessary unless it's a complete tear. But
That's things we don't know. It's not the worst recovery in the world, but at the same time, if you need surgery, they would be out of commission for a little while.
terrible news.
Definitely is, because man, were they picking up steam.
Yeah, they were.
So,
No flips, all fists.
but nonetheless, we are done. This has been a hell of a show. Mark B. Donica, where can people find you, sir?
Did he
Oh,
really
he left.
leave?
Yeah, he left.
Oh, he legit left.
So he meant that.
You know, guys, I'm going to make a quick announcement before we close out. So, as you know, my comedy album came out last Wednesday, and a lot of stuff has happened over the past week. But the cool thing is I got emailed by Billboard yesterday.
Nice.
And yeah, I found out tomorrow my album will officially be charting on the Billboard comedy charts, which I didn't realize how rare that is if you're not famous. Yeah, I know like 2 comics that's happened for. And so I don't know how it happened, but thank you to everyone who's purchased the album, because wow, to know that I'm going to be on the Billboard charts. You put your effort into something and your money and your time and your like the last 6 months to put out the product you're proud of and that you want people to listen to know that it's happening. Wow. I just want to let you guys know. If you haven't gotten it yet, go to QuastoAlbum.com. you're gonna love it. I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna be disappointed with the purchase. So, anyways, Denice Salcedo.
Dude, that's awesome, by the way. Congrats. You have
Thank
me here.
you.
I'm like looking at you, and I'm like, oh my God, Billboard. That's amazing.
I was it's totally unexpected.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. It's going to be surreal, but you know, it just goes to show you find something you really want to do, you put all your your effort into it, and good things can come from it. So that's
inspiration.
kind of where it's at.
Anyways, you guys can find me on Twitter and on Instagram @ Denice Salcedo, and then every Wednesday on the X-Pac12360 podcast, and yeah, all sorts of places. But yeah.
You can find me at True Hobo on the Twitter. I was at Millennium Pro Wrestling on Friday, and I'll be there again Saturday, kicking ass because I really enjoy just hitting people really
go.
hard. It's really a fun pastime. If you haven't done it, you should go out into your streets and just hit the first person you find.
I love it.
Lovely.
Markeia?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty. That's Markeia McCarty. You can catch me on Marvel Movie News tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. on Popcorn Talk, our sister network. And we have Inhumans news. Deadpool 2 just released some new photos of Cable. We can also, with Josh Brolin. So we're going to talk about that, and there's a whole lot of other stuff we're going to talk about. And also follow me on Snapchat, because I'm trying to get better about that. So that's Darth Thin Mints. Darth is in Vader, Thin Mints is in Girl Scout cookies.
There you go. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Our next taping is this Sunday, August 13th. We've been putting out some great stuff. Starting October 7th, we'll be on 110 CW stations every Saturday morning. But right now, you can watch worldwide on Fight TV. Let's see. I'm headlining a show in San Diego Wednesday if you're down there. August 17th, I'll be in Louisville. The 18th, I'll be in Cincinnati. And then in New York as well. So good stuff there. Otherwise, QuastoAlbum.com. Please get that album. I guarantee you're going to love it, and I want to hear your review. That's what I want to hear. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Buzz you
Bye
later.
Whoops.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.